Welcome to another Bandology interview. Bandology is a Canadian nonprofit dedicated to more music for more kids via education, collaboration, and community.
Hi everyone, my name is Lucas and I'm the music manager for Bandology. I'm here with John Harwood, a country musician originally from Innisfil, Ontario. How are you doing today, Brian?
I'm doing great. Sun is out, snow's melting. It's right up my alley, man. I can't be happier.
That's awesome. So, Ryan, can you describe a bit about yourself and your background in music?
Oh man. Going way back, I was super shy. Um, I growing up, I was one of those kids. I couldn't talk to girls. I was just shy. I kept to myself a bit. And then I found a guitar laying in my basement. Probably when I was around 11 years old, and I just kind of, it was before the internet really took hold. So I had these guitar books, and I teach myself, Def Leppard and Silverchair and stuff like that. Um, and yeah, then I think right away I started writing my own songs because I couldn't get them wrong. You know what I mean? So I remember 12, 13 writing some songs that I still play now that, um, you know, I fell in love with it because to me, writing a song is like, a diary. It's like, a piece of you. So I was just, kept writing, locked myself in my room, kept writing. And I think it was till I was 22. I got my hand caught in a steel mill and almost ripped my whole hand off. And that kind of woke me up to where, doctor said you almost lost your arm. When it healed and got use of it again, I started my first band, played in front of my parents for the first time, asked the girl that I had a crush on her. I just started living. And sometimes it takes those events, and that's, my one sleeve. It's kind of the story of me overcoming my shyness and really, just following my dreams, right? So I know that was
Yeah.
a lot to handle right there.
Wow, yeah, that's quite the story there. Thank you for sharing that, Brian.
No worries.
When you started your band, what were some of the early shows that you guys did?
You know, when I started off, it was a rock project, and there's videos on YouTube and stuff, and you can get the music. We're called Beyond Haven, and we ended up, opening for like 3 Days Grace, Finger 11, Thornley, Big Wreck, all that stuff, and I loved it and stuff, and but my roots, I think I did that for almost 8 years or something. I forget, and then I just, my roots were always in country music. When I grew up, I was raised, taking long drives in the back seat and listening to Alabama and Garth Brooks, Alan Jackson, and I just always loved country. And so I took my mom out on a date one night to a Dean Brody show, and I think it was that night that kind of been like, well, I'm starting a side band, and I started a side band called Kansas Stone, other than my rock project. And right from there, it just snowballed. As soon as I started that, I think our very first show opened up for Tay, and he had nothing but good words to say to us. And then we were opening for Brett Kissel and Dallas Smith and Aaron Pritchett. And then, it just kind of snowballed from there. And the country community really kind of opened their arms, even though I was so different, and the band was so different, long-haired, tattooed country boys, right? We stuck out a little bit, but everybody was so helpful, everybody was so nice. And it's just, I flash forward to now where I have my solo project. It's just, I can't be more grateful. And I never thought it would be a career. It was always a love. So for those kids growing up, do it for the love. Don't It's so hard to be you know, a rock star or everything. Make sure you have something to fall back on, but don't stop chasing it. And if, you know, if you find something and that song sticks, you know, then your career will build itself instead of you try to build it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So you've released lots of awesome original songs in your career so far. What is your process for songwriting?
Oh man. So it could be a whole bunch of different things. Like, for example, I just had twin girls. Um, when I found out uh, we were pregnant and we were going to be parents, before I even knew it was twins, we just knew that, you know, I was going to be a dad. We went out on a run because my wife drags me out on run. She's a runner. She does marathons and stuff. Me, not so much. But I try to stay in shape. But we were running, and just as we were running, I started humming, you know, like and then these words came to me like, um, from the first time you open your eyes to the last time that I close mine, there's nothing I won't do. So like I was just singing, and I was literally running, and just to the beat of my feet running, and like that just, and I started singing as I was running. It's like, from the first time you open your eyes to the last time. So it just, that's how that song started. So as soon as I got home from the right, I called up my producer. I'm like, my wife doesn't want me to tell anybody yet, but I'm going to be a father. I want to write a song on what I'm feeling right now. And I was running, and here's this hook that I have. And blah, blah. You know, half an hour later, we have a song. You know, so it comes from the weirdest spots, man. Like my song "Good Boy" about my dog. I was literally in my office, and then I turned around playing my guitar, and he was just looking at me, and it just came out as I was singing it. And I'm like, oh, that's super cool. So I don't think you got to try hard to come up with the song. I think advice that I was given, that it took me years and years and years to really see and understand, was write about what you know. You know what I mean? That way you're not faking it or anything out. Like the thing with my solo project, why I love it so much, is because it's me. Each song is a little piece of me. I love summertime. I love my wife. I love my kids. I love my dog. I love my dad. I love, you know, I'm a positive guy. Like I just write about things in my life that I know. And that's why I think I love this project so much, is that I can be myself. And, you know, so write what's going around you, something that you could relate to or that you know about, and you won't go wrong. That's my advice.
Nice. So speaking of songwriting and songs, would you like to play a song or two for us now?
Sure, I'll play one for you. I'll play my latest single, the one I wrote for my girls. It's called First. I wrote it before I knew I was having twins, but you know, I was like, should I change the name of the song, or like, because now there's two of them. But you know, the more I thought about it, it's like, it actually makes more sense, because I'll never put either of them first, because they're both my first, and I'm gonna love them both the same. So this one's called First, and it goes like this. From the second that you came in our lives, I've been over the good night and moon. Yeah, there's never been a more right time. Feels like I've been waiting my whole life on you. From the first time you open your eyes to the last time I close mine, there's nothing I won't do for you. Yeah. You don't know me well yet, I already love you more than anyone I've loved before. From the moment you took your first breath, yeah. We've got so much to learn. I'm gonna work to make sure you get everything you deserve. From your first to my last words, you'll always be first. you'll always be first. From the first time you take a step to the first time you step on the gas, there ain't a moment that I'll ever forget. I just wanna make each one last. From the first time you open your eyes to the last time I close mine, there's nothing I won't do for you. Yeah. You don't know me well yet. I already love you more than anyone I've loved before. From the moment you took your first breath, we've got so much to learn. I'm gonna work to make sure you get everything you deserve. From your first to my last words, you'll always be first. You'll always be first. When I hold you in my arms, you know I'll never let go. I'll be with you wherever you are. From the first time you open your eyes to the last time I close my eyes, there's nothing I won't do for you. You don't know me well yet. I already love you more than anyone I've loved before. From the moment you took your first breath, we've got so much to learn. I'm gonna work to make sure you get everything you deserve. From your first to my last words, you'll always be first. You'll always be first. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Thanks, brother.
Really like that song.
Thank you so much. I'm so proud of that song, and you know I'm a big music video guy, so all my songs have these music videos that I direct and I make with my good buddy AJ, and I'm so happy with this one because it shows the real footage of us in the NICU in the hospital because they came premature, right? So my videos and my Instagram and everything I treat like photo albums or like home movies, so that way that if you look at my music videos, you'll see ones with my dad in it and with my dog in it, and I wrote a song, secretly proposed to my wife in the music video. So when my kids grow up, they can see how I actually proposed to my wife, and they could see their grandfather, and they could see, Lincoln when he was younger. And now they can grow up and they can see how they came into the world. And, that stuff's really important to me. And, it's kind of like leaving little pieces of my life for my kids to grow up and watch.
Yeah, that's super cool. Are there any other career highlights you can think of?
Oh man, they're constantly happening, right? They're if I stop and think now, like at the time, your career as you're living it seems so jumbled all over the place. But when you look back on it, it seems like a perfectly organized road, which is so weird. But like looking back, CMT Festival opening up for like I think it was Eric Church, it was Brothers Osborne, Zac Brown band. Definitely the biggest stage I've ever been on. And that whole experience, being on the main stage and sharing that stage with those people definitely has like a spot in my head that won't leave. Like it was one of those checks off the bucket list. And as you grow, like my next three songs actually that I'm putting out this year, they're all featured artists that I grew up listening to and really have so much respect for, and being able to now turn around and I'm writing and recording and putting out songs with these people that I grew up listening to and loving and admiring, is just, another check off the bucket list. I think it keeps happening the harder you work. You got to you got to believe in yourself and what you're doing. And I think if you're positive and keep pushing forward, other people will see that and other people will believe in you, I think. Another one was we got to open up for the Roadhammers at the CMAOs, the awards, this past year. Man, there's so many. And I just, I'm praying that there's going to be many more. So I'm excited for this year to come, and there's going to be lots. It's going to be an exciting year. So, yeah.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Now, earlier on throughout the pandemic, how did you kind of adapt as a musician?
You know what? And this, you got to take this lightly when I say this, because I know the pandemic and lockdowns hurt a lot of people, and my heart goes out to everybody that it affected, lost somebody, lost jobs, lost everything, and it sucks. But for me, in my situation, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. So like I was telling you, my band Kansas Stone, we're still together and we're still releasing stuff slowly in between when we can get together. We're working on a full-length EP that we're going to drop in 2022. But it was Matt, my good buddy from Kansas Stone, that pushed me to do this, to start. Like the pandemic started my solo career. I didn't have a solo career before it, so I had all this time to write and record. And as soon as it hit, I wrote that song with my producer Justin Bird, and it was for Together. It's called Together We're Strong, and we got the Snowbirds, like Jason McCoy, Aaron Pachette. There were so many people on it, and for charity. And right from there, I was just like, why stop now? I'm just going to keep writing and doing more personal stuff. So I got married during the pandemic. I had twins during the pandemic. I have my own job. For those growing up, I always wondered, me growing up, like, how do these people survive off of music? It's because they don't. It's because you got to you still got to work. I have my own job where I do custom showers and kitchens and stuff in my own business. So like that didn't slow down. I kept doing that. So I just stayed busy, focusing on my internal surroundings, because that's all I could do. I was locked down, and for me, I think it changed my life for the better, man. I'm a happy man right now. So fingers crossed it stays like that and everything gets better, because I miss the world that we know of, festivals and shows and stuff. So I'm really hoping that gets back together. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's great that you were able to kind of have a positive experience out of the pandemic.
Yeah, and I try to tell people that in anything in life, man. My advice to people is, as bad as a situation, you can find a positive in it somewhere, even if it's as little as learning or a lesson or something. When something comes in my head, you have the choice to put it on the negative side or the positive side. And it's not as easy as I make it sound, of course not, but it's like going to the gym to work out your biceps or something. Like, you got to keep at it. You know what I mean? You go one day, you're not going to see any results. But if you keep working at it, you'll notice something. And it's same with the way you think. A lot of people are saying how bad social media is and how it causes depression, but it's the way you look at it, right? See, my Instagram and stuff, to me, are photo albums that my daughters and that can look at when I'm gone. So I think it's a positive, like I post positive things in my life that they can look back on, almost like our parents or grandparents had these photo albums where they had put pictures of positive things that they wanted to remember, right? So if my father had Instagrams, I'd be going back and looking at all their things during the war. You know what I mean? So it depends on how you look at it. You can't compare yourself with other people. Stay positive, and just we're all in this together. You know.
Absolutely. So I have one more formal question for you. Why do you think music education is important to you?
Music education is it's really important. I like music in general is important. It you know, for me, this is a personal. It kept me um, focused when, you know, a lot of my friends um, were, you know, took different roads, and I could have seen me taking a bad road if I wasn't so focused on music and learning music. And you know, I think it helps guide you as you grow up. I feel like it gives you something to, you know, focus on and learn from. It's little accomplishments that build your, you know, self-esteem and character. It's, you know, for example, I remember trying to learn a certain song over and over and over again. I couldn't do it, but eventually, you know, it teaches you persistence and teaches you to keep going after things. And those are lessons that you could use in all aspects, not just music. You know, like in this business, in music, you're gonna get 1,000 no's to one yes, right? And you got to be prepared for that. But you can't just quit. You got to keep at it. You got to keep doing it. And it's like learning any instrument. Like you're not going to be really good right out the gate, right? So um, it teaches us a lot, and I think it's very important. And I already mentioned to my wife, I'm like, I want my daughters to, you know, I don't care what instrument it is, but I want them to pick up something and try for a few years. And if they don't enjoy it, they can quit it. But music really teaches you a lot of lessons, I think, and makes you grow as a person.
For sure. That was a great answer, Brian.
Thank you.
All right, so we like to end our interviews off with a little set of fast five questions.
All right, let's do this.
All right, here we go. Question number one. What is your favorite movie soundtrack?
Ooh, there's a lot, but top of the line definitely is Rocky Four soundtrack, because every time I'm in the gym, I'm listening to that. That's how I know. That's how I time my workouts. I think it's 49 minutes, the whole soundtrack. So from when I get out on the floor, I press play, and when that soundtrack's done, that's my key to go into the sauna.
That's awesome. All right, instrument you wish you played.
Whew. I'm gonna say harmonica would be really cool. My buddy Matty, he's good at it. You know, I picked the thing up and I could blow in it, but that's about it. um, or piano, man. I wish like I'm pretty good at, like, I won't say pretty good, but I can write songs, and like I wrote Dad and I wrote a few of my other songs on piano, but I wish I could play as well as some of my other friends like Dustin Bird and stuff like that. So
For sure. How about your dream vacation spot?
ooh. Well, people that know me know I'm a vacationer. I love white sand beaches, and teal clear water. Um, I've been to a lot of places, but I'm gonna say, I don't know. Um, let's pick one I've been to. Because I don't know. I could say one that I haven't been to, and people are like, oh, let's try there, and it ends up being horrible, right? So, um, man, I love Mexico. You know, I went to Cabo, St. Lucas, and man, I did some surfing down there. The water was clear, white white sand. You know, um, I'm gonna go there. Pretty much anywhere that has some white sand, you know, a pina colada, some sun beating down on me.
There you go. All right. How about your favorite concert you've attended?
Ooh, that's super hard, man. Super hard because I've been to, I mean, you name it, from Aerosmith to Pantera to Spice Girls.
Spice Girls.
I've,
Cool.
I've been to everything, man. You know what? I think my favorite concert was one of my longest anticipated ones. Was Garth Brooks. Since I was a little boy, I love Garth Brooks so much. You know, he brought a little of the rock and roll to country, which is like me. I love rock and roll. I love 80s rock. I love putting on the show. Anybody that's seen my band Kansas Stone or seen me live, they know, you know, it's all about having fun on there and making everybody else have fun. And from start to finish, Garth Brooks just blew me away, man. Blew me away.
Awesome. And last but not least, what is your hidden talent?
Whew. That's a hard one, man. That's something you got to ask my wife, I think. Maybe cooking. I'm really good, and I love to cook. I am. Man, if you ask her, she'd probably say stinking up a room. I can stink up a room pretty good. I make a great Caesar. Probably one of the best Caesars you've ever had.
There you go.
Go with that.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Brian. I really appreciate you taking the time for the interview today and hearing about your awesome career path and journey so far.
No, thank you for having me. And anytime you want to talk, man, I support you and Bandology. Like, it's a great thing you're doing. So just hit me up anytime, man.
Awesome. All right. Take care.
See you, man.
Thanks for joining us. If you like what you heard, you can learn more about our organization at bandology.ca, which features information about music education, advocacy and research, and our Play a Gig and Bandcamp programs. Follow us on social media for more videos, performance, and interviews on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.